Well, documents obtained by the 11 Alive political team are raising questions about comments made by Insurance Commissioner John King, who is running for U.S. Senate. He wants to unseat incumbent Jon Ossoff. So co-anchor of the Georgia Vote, Zach Merchant, got those documents. Joining us now. Zach, what are they revealing?
Right, Faith. This all turns on comments John King made during an extended interview with us last week. King, a Republican and military veteran, alleged Democratic Senators Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff ignored his pleas to help Afghans who worked with America during the country's collapse in 2021.
When Afghanistan was imploding, as a result of just President Biden and the administration wanted to rush out of there, I was getting calls from Afghans saying, "Can you help get me out?" And I called, both Senator Ossoff and Senator Warnock, and I said, "I need some help." They wouldn't even respond to my call.
You never got a response?
Never got a response.
But emails recently obtained by the 11 Alive political team from the offices of Senator Warnock and Senator Ossoff appear to show that King, in fact, was in contact with them at that time. In one exchange between a King staffer and an Ossoff staffer on August 26, 2021, King's staffer wrote, "Thank you for all of the help from your office over the past few days. Commissioner King said he and Senator Ossoff have had several productive conversations since last night. We talked with King again today to ask him about the apparent discrepancy."
By the time they engaged us, the crisis had been over.
King argued his exchanges with Ossoff and Warnock staffers, which, according to the emails, happened after the Capitol fell but before the last U.S. troops left, were too late to help, and only happened after King criticized the government's response in an interview at the time.
Calling me a week later, my goodness, come on. Nobody reasonably expects. That is somebody trying to cover their rear ends. And you know what? That is what politicians do.
Why would your staffer, though, say it was a productive conversation that you all had if, as you're telling it now, it didn't get the job done?
It didn't get the job done.
But why would your staffer then say it was productive?
See, Zach, at that time, what it was is it was a glimmer of hope that something could be done. But by then, it became blatantly clear that the Biden administration wanted to turn the page because they wanted the photo op.
Some people might argue that your story has been changing over the last week. What do you say to that?
My story has not changed. Results matter. They always matter. Getting my Afghan partners out of Afghanistan alive was the task. And these two senators and their staff failed miserably.
Now, these are still the early days of the 2026 Senate campaign. The Republican primary is still about a year away.